Hey guys, sorry I haven't made a video in over a week. I've been pretty busy. Just recently been trying to make a new spawn for my new map for my server. Also, a lot of people have been saying, why am I whitelisted? Why am I whitelisted? Server isn't on yet. I'm still finishing the spawn. A lot of applications as well on the website. The second the server is back online, I will go through all the applications. So do not worry, which hopefully should be today. If not, hopefully it will be tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see. Anyway, with that out of the way, this was the very first project that I ever actually planned. I put a baseline down before I made something. So this was the sort of baseline. I know you're all saying, oh my god, it's on a flat land. You said people who make stuff on flat lands are gay. No, but not like that. But like, you'll see I did it with a bit of a difference. I knew I wanted it to be relatively flat, but I wanted it to have loads of steps, and it was like up, down, up, down, up, down. So when the whole place is done, I wanted to give the illusion that there's loads of places to go. When you do stuff like this, when you put steps and different levels of a city, even if the city is tiny, it gives the illusion that it's big. And that's what I think Minecraft's about. It's very good to trick people's eyes into thinking stuff are bigger than they actually are. That's what she said. But if you can kind of get used to that, you can make smaller stuff look way more epic than they actually are. This would not have looked half as epic if you could imagine all this flat with these plots just flat on the ground without any of these steps. No, it would have just looked flat, you know, and it just would have looked boring. So here was the idea. We came up with everything. That this was going to be a barracks. It's going to be a multi-tiered barracks. Now it's done now behind me. It's on the server and all. We're just sorting it all out. But this was supposed to be a multi-tier barracks. These were going to be houses. That was going to be a house, which have like maybe we were thinking they're going to have daily quests in. Now we're going to put up the server and the quests won't be online yet. We're still getting used to those. There was going to be like a little water feature. There was going to be like a little funny shop that I'm going to put in. Here's going to be a tailor. And the way we're going to be selling stuff now, there's not going to be one definitive admin store. It's going to be a bit more realistic. You go into the shop and you're going to see, we have the showcase mod installed. So you're going to see the objects that the person sells floating behind them, and then you see the person in front, like a tailor or whoever, and you have to click on them to buy your goods. And we're also going to most likely put in stuff like stock, because we don't want people going in and just with like a million stacks of stuff and just selling everything and getting tons of money, you know. That's just not realistic, you know. So we're going to put in, well, selling, yes, but I mean buying and stuff like that. It's not realistic to just be able to buy. So we're going to have some sort of stock system, hopefully. Here's just another regular house and another regular house. Then down here is going to be the dock. Inside here is going to be the market, but this is going to be a big wall covered over. So you're going to come along here and there's going to be all the boats and stuff like that, and then you go inside here to go into like the big market, which sells fish and food and all that sort of stuff. And then we come over here, which is the entrance. There's going to be a big bridge stretching across a big lake. This is going to be in the sky, or it's going to be pretty high in the mountains. I mean, there's going to be big mountains behind. But there's going to be a river here, as obviously because there's a dock over there. Going to be a big waterfall feature there going underneath the bridge. Another smaller waterfall at the bottom, and then it goes down. So that's the plan. That was the plan. And blacksmith here. I think it's an alchemist here. Is it? Or potions guy. A little what you call it, graveyard there, little feature there where people can just sit or whatever. Got interrupted. But over here then is going to be another tier, which is going to have a library here which sells books and maps, and it's going to have a librarian and all that sort of crap. Here's going to be a fortune teller, which is going to be some sort of funny thing. Here's going to be the enchanting shop. Cloud made this one. Miss Bad made the what did I just say? Oh yeah, the fortune teller. And then over here Cloudcom made this big enchantment shop, which has 2 tiers. That's the style of houses that we were going for, those roofs. So it has cobblestone bases, and so it mixes up. So I when I first made this, I was like, it's too cobbly, it needs some wood or something, you know. But then I really wanted it to be some sort of like ancient castle inside in the mountains, you know. But I also wanted to have some sort of twist to it. I didn't want it to be just, if you know what I mean. I didn't want it to be just another castle or whatever. Anyway, here's going to be some sort of I think we're going to put some maybe guild hall or quest hall in here. This has been closed off for now, or it could be some place to buy plots to, or buy cities or something like that. We'll have to see. In here then you go underneath here, and then it's the palace. And yeah, so then what I did with this then was I made a gigantic I don't have, do I fly? I do, sweet. See, I made a gigantic square, and what I did was I built a gigantic square and used single player commands and voxel sniper to make a gigantic make the landscape I wanted. So once I had that, I need to sneeze so badly. And nothing happened. And so yeah, so that's what we were about to do. So I made this, I imported it then onto that land up there, and then I made like gigantic landscape around it. So let's turn this flying off, because it's too fast. My nose is so stuffed up. So anyway, here is what we came up with in the end. Very different than what I usually have done. I've never done anything like this before. Do I have light on? Weird. Brightness is very high, is it? Yeah. So this is what we came up with. The finished product went from that plan, ground plan, to this as the new spawn city. Now I wanted it again to be somewhat looks like it's coming out of the mountains and it's perfectly placed, blah 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 blah. So it's around here is the level of the normal terrain. So this is what you're looking up at. I wanted it because if you're obviously when you look up at something, your mind plays tricks on you and it looks a lot bigger than it actually is. But if you're looking down at something or looking at it from the same level, like if this was the level, still would look cool but not as epic. Then if you look from down here, it looks really high up, you know. It just looks like it looks a lot bigger than it actually is. So I wanted you to walk up from here and come up here, and then you could see it through the mountain or through the trees and whatever, and then you come up here. I wanted it to be a really crappy stone path, you know, that they didn't really take good care of it out here, because maybe it's a long path or whatever. And then you get to the bridge, and this is the sort of bridge you came up at. And of course you see the rapid things over there. I think it's really cool because like there's boats over there, and I was racing the boats down the hill. It was really funny because you could like properly race them down from there, and you can race down the rapids and down onto the thing. It's really fun, actually. It's really cool. I wonder how many people are actually gonna like properly do that. But you come in here, and now this is the tavern. The first thing you see, or the inn, and CloudCon made this. He decorated it and blah blah blah. So it's like it's pretty big anyway. No point in showing all the buildings because you're gonna see them if you're in the server anyway. So that's the inn. That's the blacksmith. So this is one example of what we want to do. You're gonna have a blacksmith outside, and he's going to actually repair stuff and blah blah blah. See, it's XXX is whoever it is, blacksmith. You come in. It's dark now because we can't put any of the lighting in, and we don't want any torches inside the city because I feel like torches are a bit unrealistic at times, and like I'd rather have a fireplace illuminating the light. So that's what there's going to be. There's going to be a fireplace there. So as you can see, we blocked it off so you can't get in. So we give the illusion that there's more up there. So this is another thing, another trick that I use is to give the illusion that there's something there. So like there's something there, alright, but there's nothing else behind, you know. But people are never going to see. All they're going to see is a small bit of things up there. Okay, now I need to turn the brightness up again. All they're going to see is some stuff up there, and there's no other way they can look up there, you know. And it saves you a lot of time and hassle. And this is the shop then. So the blacksmith behind there. And then along these things we have the showcase. We have all the items. We have all the armor sets up there as well. And then over there we have like some, looks like there's some like shelves and blah blah blah. On top of that is more where it will be like a diamond or a sword or something. You know, when you go into, when you see it in or Skyrim or whatever, you walk in and they always, like on top of the fireplace, they always have like good stuff floating up there for some reason. It's kind of cool. And then put stuff on the shelf or whatever. So that's the thing. And then you right click on the actual shopkeeper, and he will sell the stuff to you instead of you clicking on a sign. I mean, it just makes it a bit more interactive and makes it a bit more genuine or something. I don't know, you know. Here's like the second tier of the wall you could go along. So you can have a look out there. And then of course it goes along here as well. It's pretty detailed place. It's very a lot of small details. Here's the enchanting shop. We had a little potion on this, but we don't have the mods set up yet. So we had all the mods tested, set up as a test, and it looked really good. Then here then is the enchanting shop, or alchemist shop, I mean. Again, it's all about making stuff. I don't want to show too much off because you can go in yourself. Not that there's a huge amount, but this is one I really liked actually. This was the library. You come in here and it's like books, more books up there, little table. That's of course where the fire will be. And then there's a little librarian thing here, you know. And the librarian is behind here, and he's a really cool skin. And this look, this is more again. Illusions. There's nothing here and there's nothing over here. It's illusions. Of course I put a light back there to look like there's actually light in there. And again, it's illusions to make it look like the place is bigger than it actually is. You have a little I have a little map floating there and a little book floating there. Now when you see it all, you'll know what I mean. It looks very impressive. We had it all done with all the NPCs walking around, and it looked really cool. There's the enchanting shop. There's other stuff. This is that. That is the palace. Little peak over there. Not gonna go in. Very dragony and Mortal Kombat-y. Like, it looks really cool. It's very different than what I've ever done. Here is like the multi-tiered barracks. Here is houses. Here's my flower shop. So look, when you're walking around the place, it looks like you can go, like this looks like, it looks like you can go a lot more places than you actually can. It's just, again, it's more tricks to disguise the size of the place. It just looks like there's a lot of places to go. And then in here is like the mason. Whoops. Here's the mason. And of course we made like make it look like he had a mine going all the way back where he was mining all the stuff. He'd be sitting there. He's goodly floating here saying what he's selling. So all in the way to make it more realistic and more immersive than simply going to one shop and clicking on the signs. It looks crap to me. Here's the little dock. As you can see, the rapids. A lot more has been done on this on the actual server. We finished the terrain and stuff and made a few changes. This is like the one on my single player. So there's like a small little market. So as you can see, let's go take a rapid. Let's see if we can survive. Go, Billy, go! Oh, there's holes there. I didn't realize that. Hello. We can do this. Can you jump? No, that's gay. I've like never been on a boat in this game. Wow! Oh, worked. Cool. And in the actual server, this stretches up a lot further. Cool. That's fun. On the actual server, there's like loads of boats down here because it was flying down. But I think it looks really cool actually. And as I said, it's all about miniature details that makes the small things, and these small things make a big impact in this game. You see, it's just all little details to make it look all really nice. So you can go this way and have a look and defend the walls. You can go back here and have a look. Where is it? There, you can walk along all the walls. So, and of course, again, I said I didn't want any torches, so we put these little things around the place to light it all up, and the mobs won't be able to spawn here anyway. But we put all them around the place, so it looks like it lights up the place a bit better. So that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to switch the server and show you what it looks like on the map, finished with the terrain done all around it. So see you there. So guys, we're back, and here's the server. Now, as you can see, this is the finished landscape around it. Tried my best to make it, it's very hard to put in something that's very blocky, and a few tips to people that try to add mountains and stuff. Try your hardest not to push a big mountain, like if you were doing this, like the way I had it as a big square, if you were importing that into a world and you wanted it to be high, so when you first enter, there's a big huge wall here that you have to smooth down. Try your best to have it in, if you're doing mountains, to have it in a mountainy landscape. Like, of course, the biome that I'm in right now is the extreme hill biome. Now over there isn't the extreme hill biome, but I made it deliberately by one, so it doesn't look too out of place, you know. or if you have to make it on some sort of plains, like over here, make sure, like right there, it stopped all the way back. I think it was here. Try your hardest to gradually, really gradually make it come out, or else it will not look nice at all. It's very hard to do that when you're first starting off and you don't really try as hard, you know, like you have to make sure that it gradually slopes down. As you see, there's a ice biome here, so we're not too far away from the snow, but god, I'm getting sick of snow now. I had so much of it. See, look, tried to make loads of little grooves and stuff like that coming out again. That's weird, get rid of that. But again, I tried to make it as realistic as possible to make it slope down. Some parts, of course, I did want it to be extreme, like here, because I wanted it to have a waterfall. So if you want to do a waterfall, you need extreme ones like this. If not, stick with what's over there. See, again, it's all very steep, and in other parts it comes out just so. Then again, when it's on a live map, it looks really nice. So as you can see here, I added the water feature coming off this as a mountainous, or the water coming out of here, so that to make it look like the water is being gathered up here. Oh, weird, trees are up here. I wanted to make it look like the water is being kept in here, so every time it rains really heavily and all the water gets stuck here and it creates this sort of river thing up here. It's crazy though how water works like that. Actually, I want to show you a quick video, because I was out last night and I didn't get home till like 2 o'clock, and it started raining, and it was probably the worst rain we've ever had in years. And this just shows you how fast, it's really appropriate for what we're doing right now, how fast a river can form. This was like an hour after it was raining. So yeah, here it is. It's a fucking river. I've never seen anything like that.
Like it's all, look, there's like a lake out there.
The lake?
Well, like it's all, that is a road.
No, that's in stream. They're like rapids. It's like over 2 foot deep over there. I can't believe the card got through. Yeah, it's crazy, I know. It was literally like a complete river. This was only like an hour or two after it was raining, and that's how much water can be created. So you can imagine how much water can like fill up in a sort of bath situation here, you know. So that it's crazy how water is and how fast things can flood, you know. So I wanted to make this look like it was really the water was going in and around there. I need to sneeze. Oh, my nose. Oh, but whatever I was talking about. Yeah, I really like the way it's turning out, and I hope people like this new sort of style I've gone with. I've never made again houses that look like this with the high arches. I've seen a few of them before, but I tried my hardest to not try. Like, it's very cobbly, this, so I really needed another bold thing to go with it, and of course wood seems to be the logical choice. But I'm gonna end it there anyway. Again, as I said, the server hopefully should be up very soon. New epic map should be out really soon, and then I'll be moving on to something bigger and better like this, because again, I said it's a different format. I've never done a format like this before, where I've come out with instead of coming out with loads of videos that are, oh, I need to fix all on there, that's like, there's like small updates every time. I like videos that like are big updates, so you know when that person again has a video, it's like, you know it's going to be good or it's going to be big. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the way this turned out, please like the video. And I will see you guys. Hopefully, most likely the next thing will be the epic map. But if not, in whatever I do. See you guys then.